As far as sign. Yeah. It's just. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hey, those are particularly. Yeah. I'm doing that now. It's the sweets in that guy. No, let's not be involved. These rules. Is your mind. And when it's looking into. If you. That's all the things. Don't get to eat. And watch. Then it covers the ear. One thing. We take all these things. So yeah, they want to use them. It won't work. And then that's what we. I think so. And I'm gonna be also practice into those. I'm also. Sit down. Oh, it's all it's already a lot. Oh. It's take a top route now. Open up. Then you water. That's good. That's good. Yeah. Always a wonderful that really is. That's what it takes. I guess all the wood like allegiance is about here for somebody so this. So first we have it's not them B if it is C unlisted action in the speaker. We have Gregory Thorpe here representing. We start the public hearing. So we can start the public hearing. You guys want to get a brief explanation of the project, and then we'll open it up for public comment after that. A storage building be located across it's a blank lot in there. 60 by 80, 4 feet across the front. With a gravel driveway, gravel parking area side and back. I will plan to bring with one. Project. So it's not for the building you got the right way to be. Who's building?
commercial property. We spoke to public report. Thanks. I believe we have consensus.
Well, no, it's not to do with, you know, public comment. If anybody here, if anybody is here to make a comment on the partly it is Main Street, project, please raise your hand, and be recognized. And so please state your name for the record, and then you can make comment.
Brian, yes, Route percent Boston, and we sold Viking Park. I don't live in a village, I live right down the road on Pattern Patch. But we're trying to rent 2 bays because truck is outgrown the bay that we're in. And if we don't find someplace to store this truck and to have a shop up here, I can't speak for Central Hudson, I'm just speaking for myself. Because I live here, I work here. I show up here, the nearest shop that I would show up to, if we don't find a suitable place to park the truck, is either Catholic or Green. And I'm not talking for Central Hudson, but I know we outgrew the shop that we're in. The truck that we had, 13 feet. 12 feet higher. So I've been parking into the back of the salt bed. It's really not great for a $600,000 truck. It's sitting in the salt bed outside. And I don't know if you guys are for this or against this, but this would actually want to help me and keep Central Hudson in the community.
Thank you. Yes. I'd also like to speak on behalf of this project, first one on our agenda. Good evening. We have a project, first one on the agenda that is open to a public hearing. And I didn't know if you came to speak on behalf of that,
No, she's with our team, next project,
the next project.
yeah.
Sorry, I just don't.
Oh, no, yeah, sorry.
We updated the plans. We're gonna give the presentation.
Yeah, like this is for the public.
It's on.
So it's a public comment to be here as a member of the public.
Oh, as a member of the public? The bank of growth as a public citizen. I think these gentlemen in the back of Central Hudson, you guys all the valuable, witness, and Central Hudson is very welcome on my part. You guys have this every year, and hopefully it gets done, we park those trucks in those bays and everybody's happy. When a lights go out, we'll be here to come back up now.
Yes, now,
And that's exactly why I said it, it's unbelievable, but it's crap.
Second.
So moving into the actual project itself, we did receive secret replies from DEP, DEC. We did receive a reply on 239 review. We have updated plans to 239. Their comments are they return it to us as local decision with comment. Their comments are, it is recommended that the bill confirm the proposed plan complies with all applicable design criteria and standards set forth in the zoning law. If the plan does not comply, the applicant must apply or obtain necessary variance, and amendment is required by law. Number 2, it is recommended that any construction or related activities within the public road rights of way coordinated in advance with appropriate local and state governmental agencies having jurisdiction over the roadway. And number 3, it is recommended that the village require adequate stormwater management measures to prevent adverse impacts on public roadways and adjacent properties. applicable local, state, and federal regulations. On from New York City DEP, based upon they had no issue with the village planning board taking, lead agency. Based on the review, DEP respectfully submits the following comments. The 100-foot limiting distance to the water course must be shown on the site. So where is the water, where is your a water course that's within 100 foot of?
Thomas, the three people were Thomas and then that.
Yeah. The proposal as presented, plans prepared by Working 48 vertical commercial garage does not require to need approval of stormwater pollution plan. However, please note that any additional impervious surface constructed to the north of the proposed building footprint would be within 100 foot of regulated water course. We require preparation, submission, and the approval of the SIP. So it must. And additional restrictions and DEP regulatory review may be required if the new building will dispense or store petroleum or petroleum waste products, depending on location and storage capacity, or if it includes an active floor drain connected to storm drains, water courses, or other surface water features. Lastly, from BEC, they once again did not have any issue with the village taking on the agency, and their comments are the project is located within the vicinity of the state scenic byway. Not that they call for any action out of that, just kind of a remembrance. And also the project appears to be located within an area of potential historic significance. If approvals or permits are ultimately needed from BUC, you will have to consult with New York State Office of Parks and Recreations and Historic Preservation first to be able to evaluate the project's impacts. So if you need any kind of DEP permitting, they're going to require you to go through this. They did provide us what they're going to use for lights. They provided us updated plans, and they provided us some, this was the number, so.
Better.
You guys.
Do you guys make any additional comments to change some of the plans and look at them? Full board members review all the updated plans.
Yeah, I just want you guys to see definitely.
Noted. It for the driveway. And I feel no parking. Or your side and travel. It's water, electric. So.
And on more of a visual map that I provided, it's the whole, it says there, the side. So the street. Thing. I plan on doing was a bunch of cells to kind of hang with the thing. That. I never realized how much. But not.
Yeah, I would have concerned with the this is.
Yeah, but what
Is
your?
No. Oh, but you. Did you say? From any previous business? No. So, with the changes to New York State law that took effect back in February. Any project, any site plan has to show 100-foot eliminated line from any recognized water course or wetlands. Even if you're not building anywhere inside of it, you still need to show where that 100-foot line. There's evidently there is. I'm gonna see if I can find.
I was trying to see that mention. Oh, yeah.
It's. Yeah, I mean, the whole. Green.
This is 80 feet.
Just.
This is 80, right?
Yeah. The. Older.
Yeah, the problem is sometimes culverts. It's really easy if it's unless there are culverts out there that they've decided permanent water courses. And there are permanent water courses that they've decided are gradients. And there is sometimes like zero, like sometimes the greens culvert. Sometimes getting them out here to be, that will get it specified. You're not building anywhere within. Initially, like I'll leave it up to these guys and whether they model.
No, they're not on feet. That.
It needs to show where.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. And I don't know that. It's.
Right. So all this is saying is like the final map, you can do this as a conditional thing for finding. Is that the final map should show where they. And I don't, like I didn't know. There's some,
Yeah, I read the. They didn't know. Something for.
yeah, it's the part where it's kind of. Said.
That looks like asphalt. This is ground.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Are you putting any drainage here? See, we have the island with clear egress and.
Yeah.
Do you think there'll be a drainage pipe here? Leaving some here, to capture root water or anything else?
There is like a little bit of it. Swings. This is naturally, this is.
So the roof line is gonna be going right here, so
Right.
like, and I think the something close to this. So I didn't know if we wanted to convert them and capture the off the property.
And that kind of meets with.
That's what the house is saying. It's not me, no, I let the expert look at. They're saying maybe want to capture it.
There's the, you should capture. Instead of it just actually wanting out.
It's an impervious surface study somewhere in the middle, maybe it isn't, but they would want to look at it. Then I had our engineer walk out, last meeting, I had discussed the sidewalk from the street. He was in opposition to that. He did say, and I wasn't laying it on you. You only get your seats and put it up, and that's why I'm gonna reiterate. That the better possibility was those two rain gutters in your existing building could get into a pipe and not go towards 23A, but shot back this way. So if we were gonna lay a pipe, then it might make sense to capture all that water and then move it to this drainage chute and shoot it down there, which might help you parking lot, maybe part of your design. Is consistent with what the county said, and we don't even correspond with the county anymore, they're a private agency now. It used to be representation from every village and town in the county, was the Greene County Planning Board. It is no longer exists that format, it is now an independent group of reviewers that brought up that point. So thinking when it's all opened up, your own architect or engineer might say, hey, this is a good idea, you might eliminate more of the problems of the bicycle of the future, pulling in and out. It might be a good idea, and then in that case, then I think we would assist even, well, my engineer, try to connect those two. He said, don't eliminate it, make it DI, get that water diverted off the side of the building right here, shoot it into the same pipe. And maybe we're improving. We haven't reviewed really how bad it is. It looks like it could be a potential, but I have not watched it as an ice dam all winter. So, but that's what Vermont Engineering when they came to offer sidewalk improvements, what we could do. I had him look at the drainage there. And then just independently, he just almost said similar to what the county was saying. Now, in addition to this, whether it's gonna be productive or not productive, I think it might be. CWC might assist them, possible. CWC has funding to improve drainage, which is at least a 50-50 match, including the engineering. So the pipe in the ground and the engineering of it might get funded through stormwater, which is mentioned by DEC, DEP, and the county, vaguely or directly, and by this board, just intuitively at your first look at. It's just something you may want to do, positively impact the cost and then positively impact the whole cost.
You take care of the stormwater, it helps our property value as well, because it's something. How it's coming up right now, it's gonna impact. Water.
When did you plan on building?
You can attend, listen, you can attend the drive. You know, into drywall with the engineering report, that may work. But before this is nothing.
I think we could do, so we gotta do some. So we could do super right now, we could actually do this is. Just put in conditions that deal with. That the final path to abundance, and it give us some idea. Like as he's building this, they figure out a way to.
Drywall.
And he's not in this still.
So if we put that way conditionally, then how would be. All see them, they're in order. And we ask for stormwater, say they have a project going, some people have made comments, and get some assistance with dealing with my root water, rainwater, some village issues. Usually they are very well. Almost every project in the village that we have done, really, or everything all involves them kicking in money to assist with and the actual construction. And I think that would take everyone else. Well, they're right. Exactly, do it all at once.
Yeah, like that would be where somebody might need. From, yeah, this is based all at once, yeah, things are here, let's do it. Yeah.
And then the modifications is gonna make all of that. It is a 50-50, but
Anything can be,
anything is plus.
anything plus.
It's like, I mean, the part, you were going to be paying 80%. Well, first, we need to move into C. So, once again, under secrets and unlisted action, review part one, part one, okay. I have recommendation for 2 that basically states that all 11 questions would be no impact if you want to go this I will with you, but if you guys are okay with that. 3.
Good call.
All right, moving on to part 3. My recommendation at this point is for it to be for it to make a determination of a negative determination of significance on this. We need a motion in a second.
So make a motion that is under secret unlisted action. Making the type of.
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye.
That was painless.
Right, now we can move on to the site plan itself. We kind of had discussion. Does anybody have any other discussion items for this project? Any of us, you guys have any other questions, comments, thoughts on this project that you want to have an answer?
The question I have for this design is, basically.
Mine, have enough.
Some bottle.
There's no.
No,
And I have one question, about the raised laying, you're talking about, turning the data images, are you talking along the perimeter of raising or at the corner? Because I got feedback from people that, pulling out raising, it's a real blind spot, and the traffic signs are far back, and they're just active and possible. They used to be grouped back further. Yeah.
Stay at the point, down Great Lanes.
It's all.
Everything's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're being three balls.
Doing that from parking, it's not more than.
Honest.
Be looking for a motion to approve the site plan with the following conditions. One, that a revised map be provided for signature. That will show the 100-foot. Distance from the watercourse. And that, I don't need it, like, what, and then secondly, that a. Yeah, that a stormwater mitigation take place, not just for the proposed new building, but to pick up the two downspouts from the existing building and to move that to a place where it's not lying, especially. Any motion that approval of this
All motion.
Mr. Kelly makes a motion to approve. Based upon contingencies of stormwater mitigation and or the 100, but of course, I say.
Do we have a second? Second for Pat. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? So carried. So I would get right on it because I think they're pretty wicked students. But I think you're gonna find them very good research. I'm gonna give them a call, and I think they'll help us implement all of it.
Yeah.
And if you don't get any quick response, then I can call. Won't send this. Yeah, okay, no, no, Michael, let's see them. Things on that. So we can be done quick, we can make a scene, some of engineers, probably to provide them some documentation that they need.
And then before you have to do any kind of building permit, you need to start looking like over there. Is I just need that map updated to learn, but so no break in town until we have that map, we have that map. Start doing it's like.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is.
It's 6062 Main Street, Boston.
Yep. Article 166.17-14 unlisted action under seeker. Cummings is here presenting along with the whole team of other people. This is the public hearing portion right now, so if you can give a brief description of the project and then we'll open it up to anybody in the public that has comment on.
So we're planning on doing exterior elevation updates and a new door on the west side with a brick patio to allow for a ADA accessibility. To replace the wooden deck that's already there. And then we also added a fence around. the- And then we have updated colors. To meet the zoning laws, minimum 2 color, maximum 4 colors. Dominant color being that 2% and the earth material. So we kept the brick color as bare and Coca-Cola or similar with trim. And the doors being a fake wood. And on style above window and below the window, a kind of checkered pattern with another additional color in it.
No, open it up.
Public hearing, public comment.
Okay. Bill, oh, we.
Okay. So,
No one's here to make public comment. Close the public hearing. Public comment. All right, so let's just have a little board yourself and board members want to discuss this on.
well. Mike?
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. I have. You ready to go to the next?
Sure. I was just wondering if the board would want to make comments.
You got. Very. Roll and non-roll.
Signage?
Did you do that?
No.
Older. I don't think there's gonna be an explicit, yeah. Yeah.
But I think there will be some of mountains.
Exactly, yeah.
And then more.
Speed.
Still gonna go to. Yeah. sure. See, well,
So, C, E, C. That's all. Plan. 239, it was, comment, or following comments were given, it's recommended that the coordination, including any elements or with the New York State Department of Transportation, the Highway Department, or the local municipal authority that interests in for any activity in the applicable highway right of way. It is recommended that the verify that the product design complies with all applicable state and sewer reservation law regulations and requirements for the storage tank. EC, no issues with the taking of the agency. Those actions located within its watershed, so required by the New York State section. Project appears to be located within an area of potential historic significance. Permits are indicated. EC, consultation with the New York State Office of Park Recreation and Historic Preservation will likely be required, and the project is in law. State scenic by the not close to the yay, the state consideration anyway. Lastly, there's The big comment, and I forwarded that to me, right? The comment, was it these guys that?
The DEP comment, that was depending on the authority, yeah, for the restart and.
They didn't have. So this, for this project, they didn't have any comments in the. I knew there was one that I got today, copy of the. So that's the. 239. Yeah, he gets years, so.
And we have them.
So updated plan, it's,
We want secret.
you wanna look at those updated plans here, so.
No, I.
They show them here, and I don't know if anybody needs some items. Hey, the seeker, once again, I reviewed. For two. I have my recommendations for you guys to say little or, basically it would be little or no. Impact for all 11 questions. And then for three, the recommendation is for a negative declaration.
Who's that?
It's an unlisted action. This.
Make a motion, that's an unlisted action, we're seeking, and a negative declaration.
Second.
Anyone opposed? Carry.
It's 19.
Color is still too brown. In my opinion, for one hole. You can laugh at the zoning law, laugh at 25 years of trying to rebrand Tannersville as the painted village in the sky. That's been a 25-year dedication by philanthropists that buried a lot of money in this village, trying to make it look better. Got us on the cover of the New York Times, and put us in a lot of places. We're going to be redoing this village hall that theme. We're hoping that PRI projects and standalone projects all were consistent with something on that theme, because 25-year rebranding, in my opinion, being here for 40 years is a difficult thing. In a important businessman in this community, certain branding fits in certain places, and certain places maybe it has to be redone. Those colors, in my opinion, are not enough. I wasn't saying that I'm a designer and know anything about colors, although that little rendering that I showed you of an emerald green that was consistent with maybe your clientele or Brooklyn theme, and think that they lives in Brooklyn and understands that theme, and he is an international designer. Said you could still add color and still attract. What I'm guessing from visiting Scrivener a few times recently and seeing what the clientele is, and your main one of the problems of this group would be consistent. I'm just one horse, so I'm done.
My wish, that's the gentleman that made the New York Times, I was the contractor that painted the village in sky. Kelly Sanbury painting, the bonus and all the it is a little dark, it is a hell of a lot better than what we have on the corner. Maybe you could take the mayor's suggestion, maybe tone it down somewhat instead of the Coca-Cola brown. And maybe give a little special color back to it. I do agree with getting things done and making the building pretty again. So on the medical side, I think I agree with them. I love your plan, but this is not Williamsburg. I'm a Brooklyn guy. Williamsburg will never be the Brooklyn I know anyway, because that's all made up. But this is definitely the village of Tannersville. Again, I'm the contractor that painted all those Patterson, only for 1.5 months. Maybe tone it down a little bit. People, at this time, I like to apologize, and I like to agree with you.
Maybe that's that. I think it's lovely. I think I worry about getting at that in the sense that he made it, we got to. But I absolutely just heard that I'm worried about the darkness at that.
Is it just the color or the brick that you have? The brick is okay.
Yeah,
paint over this brick. And actually make it.
If it's that dark, like you're at that intersection, I swear that it's gonna be. Like, look like a gas tube, or look like a gas tube, if that makes any sense.
Good job, really. But you know this, you can't understand what all this. As a community, do we didn't all notice, or we go back, as McDonald said, or Mr. McDonald. The payment, it's not, it's a lot of design, but then again, this is definitely, the gas book one. Exactly.
And is it dark of the neutral color or the neutral color is that? Like if it could be some light brown.
I thought they had saved it in front of you here. You guys did that. Okay, that was the specific. Okay, you start them.
You take a look at it, right?
And we did. That basically, people told us to come back and that was what was given. What?
And that's,
And you said ask them. I just don't like, at what point, where is it that? Yeah. And where it is, it that have to have those colors. Again, look, if we had a conversation where you guys had to add some flair, right, like I just feel like at what point, like, do we, like, if it's not turquoise, be like.
I don't think we're asking for turquoise though.
Well, but we did ask for money. And we're getting black. That's like my whole thing here. I'm fine, but like just even and we're trying to be, it's very frustrating being in my position. Okay, and actually like doing what I thought you guys asked us to do, and then you come up here and get negative, right? I probably want. I appreciate that, but okay.
I think, and we may just give this agreement on you, I think, Lee and myself, last month, made it clear, that we were talking about brighter colors that would pop and stick out. That does not pop or just, you can say it does what you want, it doesn't. It's doesn't. Yeah. You should take the whole side, get that right now, this side, you move it as in side.
Yes, in spite of the bottom.
Yeah.
Really helpful. I said color. Now, if I have to go through the minutes, I said it's just color, I didn't say disaster. That's why. I think you're gonna go, which is consistent with something. I'm not giving, I'm thrilled to do that, Steve. I would never be in a days to any type of growth in this community. I'm thrilled that you're taking a vacant spot, putting your money into it, making an investment. You're making it a big power thing over a color. That's
not even a power thing or anything. We said, and you said, people. Also, and then again.
Maybe we don't want. It's a brand. It's a brand. No. That's what is. It's a brand. A painted building. Board with the board. They can vote. Because it's. It's a brown fine. And that's only here. That's. And. Here, I want to know. this group, you know, it's everything, you know, it's.
Why not? I'm giving you.
I said, color in the minute, not the other word.
That.
I can't look at it right now.
I think in that the habit.
It just,
There was any going forward about being consistent with
yeah,
the general color scheme and the rest of the.
I do want to point out that.
Natural brown, not very.
That's brown. Brown.
Is it all I'm going with the color for a second? Are there any other things with the site? Like, skip color for just a minute.
Absolutely.
It's just like,
I know the board will talk to the executive. I said, why put $7,000 in this? Mr. Kelly, we don't care what you're doing. You don't even, you're not giving us your stuff out. I don't care, I'm not wanting. And I said, here's the code, we're the board, here's the code by us. You can sit rules. The bottom line is, love that you're gonna. You've been dying to see that property be done. Monitor the service to the building. Nobody's definitely arguing about your.
I appreciate your example, but what we're, just to be clear, what we're doing is the code. And B, last time the verdict, if we're talking about the article, I added it, and now you're gonna just say that's not good. Care? I just want to know what it is, like, I feel that the goalposts are moving. Tell me what the goalpost.
Get rid of the total brown and it's gonna get. To be honest, being a face of the board members, nobody's a solvable. Any other color, you can go white and charcoal, Mr. Colbert, why you want to black up and white and charcoal? The problem is, it's the bond and the bottom line is, I mean, building and man, let's get it so that maybe we'll appease the board, or we can bump heads and go with so and say who's gonna win with a vote or who's gonna win with the attorneys. But we want that. Nobody's gonna shut down, but the company is the top of that.
And if you guys made it, then we wouldn't be having this conversation.
We have,
That's all.
this, that was the intent of what was trying to be conveyed. And if
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I apologize.
Thank you. Me?
This is just. This doesn't even go to the thousand, we're not being covered. That's on the beach area. It's on the base and the view. So. You have to here.
Working the ball. Okay. Yeah, it's all.
You see now. You gave them the 90% of the south side to the almost whole building. We would all the windows, make it that color. We would have been more comfortable if we saw the facade color design in instead of the lousy south side, when 90% of the building is facing east. That would have been a better fact if you had that color. Why are you still the south side and saying you got to go to the home? It would have been a better big color than that on instead of the one side. It would have hit a home run, I think. I'm telling you right now, it was screaming.
Man,
Absolutely.
okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So I would ask if the board could give Samantha and to maybe obviously have conviction with their color palette, but the print is just, I know big blacks run on one page. And I've had people react negatively to awesome palettes and designs and everything, because I failed to like communicate graphically what it was. Maybe in her palette and she's seen it on this.
Well, that's like the facade right now. What he said, we should have 45. if you have a facade on, that was presented with that color, with the breakup of the windows and your accent pieces, that may be the normal hit, that I can say, one solid color palette, that would be the issue. We don't break it up, a little accent and all styles and put frames, and you would be able to.
If I saw that rendered in daylight with shadows of leaves and cars and smiling people eating pizza inside, that's a completely different reaction than a black rectangle.
Light in the building, the top of the window.
I just did these for, on Main Street. This is, Arlington. We got a ski bum in the parking lot. There's light, shadow, which changes the interior facade of this building. Right, we get it. There's people on their iPhones, they're hanging out. Maybe it's just comes down to representation and some good renderings that are better. Or different views like that. Like, maybe another palette is less.
I think that like put this in front of people, like I kind of. Anyways, you guys can do whatever you. I've been in front of planning board community before, I find. Whatever, great, we'll come back with something that's not around next time, anything else? I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna have this conversation, okay.
I will, if we get it the best fit of me, it will. And it will get you their fields. And that way, if we.
These are like just about 10 different options, you can all like. Yeah, if you guys want to join, we have weekly calls, you can hop on and you can talk to the designer, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. Well. Thanks, guys.
Yes, we can. Very. I'm not, it's just the darkness, or it's my.
Yes, I wanna make sure that he doesn't feel like we are.
You start, don't right now, shift on. The window in there, the pole light in, the yellow. You show the kids, right, maybe we get negative comment. If you want to be acrimonious about it, hey.
It's frustrating, yeah.
It's frustrating, it's,
He's frustrated. Schedule one meeting. We've done the diligence that's required by law. We've been accused of goals. We made a clear recommendation that it should be consistent with the architecture of the building. For a couple renderings, we weren't proving the idea, the board was actually getting really to vote. Then we did against that by an applicant because of some sort of planning board. I was with the county planning board for 20 years. This gentleman is a professional for 20 years also. And I'm not convinced. We weren't asking for much, except rather than just moving into the future blindly without any review process, without any briefing, without any discussion with the local institutions, that would make us a bunch of idiots. Because your client doesn't like to be reviewed. That is on him. These are the law. This board is abiding by the law. We are sorry that we abide by the law and the zoning document, but that's what we have. And we would be another thing, without stormwater protection, without flood years, 200-year storms. So maybe each little project is really important. That's why we have this big review. And that's why we went to Olean. You want the state head, and you are in the county room. Now you do have county review, and you do have DEP, and you do have DEC. And this planning board is doing our best to coordinate all those efforts to have an appropriate approval, so that when this property owner goes down the road and says, I have all my approvals, I did everything, I did all the right thing. Then he's not blamed for something else, and this board is the same. But we spent 10 minutes reviewing asking 2 questions at your first proposal a month ago. We immediately put it on for a public hearing. We immediately got all these responses, and then we get yelled at by the client. And providers, I don't know, I don't get paid anything for that. Every building in this Main Street to be out. We don't figure it out. We just. We don't pay.
You said that the, you said it was
zoning law, being specific with the board's job to interpret that. Well, that's definitely. It's the building green. It seems. Work with.
And listen, whether you get this break the whole time, let me, no, what I just, everybody was, I'll tell you what, don't appropriate. And I think that, that's not really speak to anybody in the general public. Even you, will care about the context, that was inappropriate. All we said was, and then I mentioned the facade of the building, and that was the condition on the facade. You're gonna use the light bulbs. That, you don't show the full side with 2 windows. If you show the facade, and most architectural renderings are always the front of a building, because that's the majority of the land space. That was inappropriate. What he did, I will not back down. And he said, bring up the color, and then to his audience, what about terrible? Let me tell you. I think that the footprint of our people, 20 different spots, 20 different positions, and I would tell a board member, if you're saying you want pink, I got the next one, get pink, which one you want. It's not placating us. That, but I did this today, I've never seen before on a board, and it doesn't go on at any point with the public, because you represent the whole building. I don't think it's with $150 million or $25. You're not gonna walk in here and tell the general public, F you, because I want it my way. You're the only Tannersville. If you don't like me, vote me out, vote me a scumbag and tell me no.
What can we do for him?
I think.
I don't know that.
So, I would say, the sooner we can get a couple, like, color samples. Do what you did, but do a couple of different color choices. If you can do multiple all at once, if he's open to that. Awesome, if he's not, I get it, like, but I can tell you in the past, when we've had this discussion, I've, in my capacity in other places. When we've come across these types of discussions in the past, when we start to get into this, well, what do we really want it to look like thing? I have had people present choices that they're okay with and allow the board to kind of like push toward one or the other. He may not be okay with that, and then I get it, but if he is, that might be even better. I would say the biggest place that you stand to gain is lightening the color of the main part. Like, I think in the end, the hardest part about this particular building we presented right now is it's just so dark. And especially if you spread that all the way down Main Street as well, it's gonna be a really dark building at the beginning of what is mostly, not all, I acknowledge, but mostly vibrantly colored buildings. Right? And so this leading into the dark color is a bigger, I like the light blue and or the slate blue and the tan, those are great. It's just that the background to it is so dark. It's the background that's not really fitting with the rest of what's going on.
And the problem is, we want, so not necessarily the teal. I think he might be teal.
He has a feel.
But I'm saying, what, I mean, why do we take the
In response to the last meeting, I was joking because I had never thought that this was World War III over getting some color to the painted village in the sky. Apparently, it has gone down that road. So, do we have anything else that we can proceed on until they bring final? Should we not proceed?
That is not.
You need to like physically say like all the details that we're updating from the side, spelled out like in our elevation plans.
It's like,
Yeah, like the symbols that are. Here.
you have it all.
Yeah.
And so
I just didn't know if we needed a verbal.
Coloring inside was. Show. It isn't possible. You open the phone, I guarantee you, you give it to the architect. Yeah, people, it would take you 30 minutes going to the beginning. You don't need the things anymore, you're getting that. You get those games. The big game, they set it off, but the start is the home run. It's all. We don't need you.
So we're not, it's not even a question.
We get back.
Yeah.
We stop. You don't want to do that. But the behavior is a little.
Yeah, I just wanted to consistent. Public preference, I don't want to go to anybody out there. But the law clearly states consistent with what's going on with architecture, we put it up, we like an open wound. I am angry for whatever reason, and really incorrect. The work this board did, this meeting and said this board has worked. We brought up one point. And we're dying on this hill again.
I think there was only one point. You guys were still right through it. Again, I don't want to take this, well, but that's it. So, but I think in that point.
Yeah, and I think you see, you know, we can do secret drawings. We did secret.
We did see her already.
So we already did secret, the only thing that's waiting for is site plan approval. I mean, what we could, like, the only thing you could do, right, because the color is. You could actually move on the site, physical work with the condition that they come and get architect approval for the final policy. Okay.
We still want that to. What will your project stop? We're eager to have it. But I can do this type thing, and with the first thing, and I said it was schematics coming in, when I approved it, then they said totally, because we have not.
I was going to the second. Was better. Site plan, you can start construction.
Thank you.
I'll get you on. So I just, and then, with the. We see you, only at that, we have to be doing here. This is. It's trying to be alive.
Like updated in the application, I don't think the application really said about the fence. It just certain stuff that exterior.
Friends on that.
It's on the site plan, it's just not on the actual application.
You just need to be with those. Right? On the, we're gonna want to be the one document. And then, public meeting, as the one. In documents.
I'm very seconds. I just want to make it clear that we don't get paid in years to resolve. Well, measures and on this, one item, someone's gonna make that item. Period. Just period. I agree with this one. Next one, right now, will be entertainment. Next one is 599 Main Street, Barstow. 182.05-2-98. We open the floor for a public hearing. Is there anyone here to speak on that matter? Are you here to speak on that matter? I'm making a motion to close the public hearing. Second, all in favor, let it know for the record that no one came to speak on this matter. Case dismissed by our panel.
See, you got, you E, you C, to 39, if it's we actually got the spec sheet from the additional walking and it's gonna be added from 239, local decisions to comment. Comments are, it is recommended that any exterior modifications be coordinated with SHPO and any other relevant agencies to ensure compliance with applicable physical regulations. And the second need is recommended that if the new outdoor improvements are proposed, the village ensure that appropriate drainage practices are implemented to prevent off-site impacts in accordance with applicable local and state regulations. Hey, DP. Based on review, they're fine with us being lead agency, should the food, their only comment is, should the food truck discharge wastewater to the sewer system? Green trap must be installed in the lateral, but you have no intention to discharge.
Contract agreement with another party that I provided, so either I will be charging the comments to completion. And I will be installing a register anyhow, and that's the
Great.
and the petition of the either or will be in.
There, you're gonna do this at the,
Yes, I have.
and have you talked to,
I have the agreement.
I'm talking about DEP. Because I know you have issues there with them already,
So I have. DEC and
yeah,
I have permit.
so they're gonna be okay with the extra flow. I knew that they gave you over 10, we added.
I have like 1,000 gallons GP per day extra condition.
If they haven't, let you,
I working Department of Health, having to look at conditions of like 10 years, coming those reports and after that they will make findings.
DEP. DEP, they have no objection and they just state the same things that they were stating in the other ones, that it is inside the watershed and the cultural resources and the scenic. So that is a comment from everybody. You're still working on the.
Yes.
That's paid, the salary, we haven't come up with the probably their background, so how. So the relation will be on the 500 feet long. That's the only goal.
So. Increase. That, I mean, you can get to the.
You get a,
It's an unlisted seeker, we can recommendation is there is no small impact occurring for any of the 11 items. And then for 3, the recommendation that you think that negative declaration is.
see here. Second. All those in favor?
All right, and then. Deliberations on the site plan, so does anybody have anything, question, anything? I don't think that's the site plan. Okay, like the site,
There's no rendering. for the tree.
No, because it really, like, the only thing that's happening is the addition of this, the bed is the path. And then beyond that, it's this, that there's gonna be 10. It's very cycles. No. There is an actual. Way to obtaining SMA license.
So purview being.
He can't open it without. He can open it without. The reason I say that. The reason I say that is, if he were not, what you want, what that protection, we just approve it without that condition.
I mean, I have a question. I may open the license.
I mean, and that's fine.
Okay. You want to explain my position why I'm here. Property is there, we're here, we site, we are not ESL. In my opinion, I guess.
So just everything in these systems will not be able to operate in the liquor.
So, love, ESL, that, continue on the site. So make most of the site plan, and if they're not, it'll be out of Google of the. That's not. Well, in favor, that easy.
Thank you. It's not to be here.
Is it public here for any of the comments?
I have one question aside from why I'm here.
Yeah, why are you? There is independent group of mothers and concerned citizens that are looking for a skate park. It has not been something that's been taken up by the board as of yet. Okay. The declaration was for the existing park. And they were gonna do their research, their fundraising. To see what is feasible for the park and location. We're telling them before they go down to deep, that expanding that park at that location is a very large. And I just, but everyone can do what they want.
It is.
I could just say that the village is not going down that deep. That particular location, which is in the floodplain, that under my jurisdiction over the last 30 years has had 5 feet of water run through it on 2 occasions, and the second occasion was deaths. So I don't think it's a place for a concrete underground swimming pool, which is a skateboard park without water, because I don't think it can handle the environment. And we have a letter that we shared with the people that are concerned with the upgraded park, which I love the idea, and clearly states from the DEC that, are you kidding?
So conversation we had earlier.
I gave you the abbreviated measure.
That's.
They've already ripped out 5 buildings. Paid people to please take them out. Paid the village to remove our highway. Instead, please take it out. Why would we spend $500,000 for a skateboard park, which is going to be underwater in the foreseeable future?
At that location.
I'm sorry to be.
I like that.
At that.
That's not, listen, the investment. Very well, with people, I don't want to that location not gonna happen. And that is what we look at meetings.
Yeah, I'm gonna use, make a lot of, it's in the art of the. Waterway, that's within 100. And. And under the line. Water like white. And if you wouldn't like, you could see it's that. Okay. It would never be. It's all there pre-installed.
The group, the dedicated group, and positivity that came out of it, with funds together, then people will be rallied to find a new. That's my only point, not about you and what you want to do, where you want to. Just curious. I'm glad I didn't say that.
So.
I have a question about it's still one for Main Street. It used to be on country store in that location. So let's say if I get ambitious and want to take on the location, I have to find a new site plan. Or used to be there.
The last use of that building was as a restaurant slash retail, so it was not a street retail.
Last day,
We pay their. Physical keys, outside of the buildings, some other plans, so really.
Only if you change the footprint.
I want footprint outside, everything's then inside the and play probably the place that's the bar. Oh,
It's up to you.
it's I mean, I might get like if I get footprint, I might take both places.
As a call, we encourage.
The topic is right colors. Thank you. What? And then all of them is completely white. So
Thank you very much. I want when we have a massive audience here, of this, people in the planning section. As people will experience the safely. So. The village is exploring and finalizing application. Field department and spearheading the tourism and marketing grant. Local business and also tourism, which we know we are. And also further investment and maybe further community investment, which would be part of our narrative. Attracting more families, more permanent residents, to build out of town. We're applying for a planning grant to upgrade our comprehensive plan. For those who don't know what that is on paper, a document that states, this is what the community is, but this is where we'd like to go, and it lays out long strategic plan, how we want to get there, and what is important to the community. The stakeholders are residents, business people, elected officials, outside investors, on the mountain, anyone will have an opportunity to say, this is how we envision. This is what we'd like to see, and then that gets foiled in the document. It is not made up by members at all, even though they have a very diverse view of what it is more outreach. That is a grant that is 90% paid by the state, 10% paid by the village. Minimum grant is $75,000, which means the taxpayers will be footing a bill for $7,500. Comprehensive plan that will tell them where it is going. As part of that application, we are including updating our zoning law, which we have 10 lawyers in the room, we have 10 different opinions about every paragraph that is written. At least that's been my experience. So we are going to update that zoning law along with the comprehensive plan for some changes. As far as what roads, commercial, residential, things of that nature, probably won't change. Maybe certain language document may change as far as the review process. We're also, Lamont Engineering has been our engineering firm with my tenure and continued in last administration. They're updating our engineering plan for the entire village, the site where we have engineering deficiencies in our infrastructure and what should be addressed. They're also applying for different funding to upgrade larger culverts in the village. And on an ongoing process, we're always reviewing and assessing the dams of the reservoir. It was built quite a long time ago, it was restored. Where it was just described 2006 by FEMA money. money when I was in the office back then, was a $200,000 renovation to Reservoir One, storing that dam, but we constantly applied for dam funding to make it safer, continue to upgrade still all the amount of water that travels through the mountains has changed. Don't care to give it a reason why, what, that is just the realities. Engineering and spillways and emergency spillways need to be upgraded as we have more data to deal with the amount of rainfall that we get, how often it is. Like I jokingly say, the 100-year storm has happened twice in the past 25 years, It really happened 3 times when the mountain road collapsed last 25 years. So I think they can't be classified.
Yeah, a good one there, too.
Right, I mean, that's the one that collapsed the road. So you can't go 100-year storm, and well, that's gonna have to be fine. Well, storm in Texas. Irene was 14 in 8 hours. The first one was 8 inches, 6 hours, and the other one was very simple, 8 or 9 inches, 6 hours, and it was mountain top, all within the past 25 years. That's why we're trying to upgrade and protect this infrastructure. And not building the floodplains would bring to. But our park seems to survive, and those ramps seem to survive. It's too merciless in water, but I don't think a big concrete into a pool. And I'm sorry to dwell on that. That's all my page for planning. Board members, if anything else that you want to start with planning. Motion to adjourn. There. All in favor? Aye.
Yeah.
We were here to apply for residential water and sewer.
It's not a great meeting for that, two, you apply for the meeting. One, not a great meeting for that, technically that can apply outside of it, apply at. I thought this, no, it's just the way it's made.